Hello, and welcome back to the AI Kitchen, where we are serving up AI solutions that you can use to make a real difference in your day-to-day productivity. I'm Logan Lawler. I'm the Dell Pro Max AI strategist at Dell Technologies. Today, we'll have a recipe that'll make your life easier when you're doing speech-to-text translations. We'll give you everything you need about running the Parakeet TDT model locally on the Dell Pro Max workstation powered by NVIDIA RTX Pro GPUs. But this isn't about hardware or software. It's about how they all work together to bring AI to life. Parakeet TDT's 0.6 billion V2 by NVIDIA, which was recently launched about a month and a half ago, accurately converts English speech into written text. The cool part about it is with CUDA acceleration, it adds the natural punctuation, capitalization, and even timestamps of when the words actually occur. Here with me today in the AI Kitchen to demonstrate how it all works is Alan Burgoyne, Director of Product Marketing at NVIDIA. Welcome, Alan.
Thanks, Logan. It's great to be here, especially to talk about how AI can be such an effective tool. Like you said, the speech to transcription is fantastic. You already mentioned some of the most user-friendly features, but did you know it also does long-form audio transcriptions, up to 24 minutes in a single pass and up to 3 hours in the demo app?
I did, because I've been playing around with it and I found it incredible.
Time on it.
Because here's why it came to pass. You probably don't know, I'm just another kind of face at Dell, but I do have a podcast. Might be top 8 on Apple right now. That's neither here or there. But I get asked by marketing folks in PG to say, hey, you're talking about great stuff on this podcast, but how do we turn that into written content? Whether that be a deck or whether that be, a blog post. And I'll be honest, before I thought of this, I was listening to the episode, and it's really hard to listen to myself talk and type and all that. It was taking hours and hours. Well, in come the Parakeet model. I was like, wow, this is great. The directions are kind of on the website. I can now take the audio of that recorded content within a couple of minutes, turn that into a transcription file, which then I ultimately throw into LMs to get translated. So, Parakeet's about a 600 million parameter ASR model, which uses NeMo. It's trained with a fast conformer TDT architecture, supports audio segments like Alan's already referenced, up to 24 minutes. And you can get it from huggingface.com. So if you check out my screen right now, go to Hugging Face. It's very simple to get the model, just git clone in, your command line, and you can pull all the things that you need. So I think the thing that I find most interesting about it is there's a lot of different speech and translation models out there, is the fact of how fast this works and how accurate it is. Because previously, working with our agency, they would send in a transcription file, and I would say every other word, every third word, every fifth word was wrong. This is about 5 to 6%, in terms of error rate, which I actually think it's quite a bit lower than that. And it's multilingual. So although I speak English, it'll actually go across the 25 European languages, including Spanish, French, German, Ukrainian, Russian, and a whole host more of languages that I don't speak.
Yeah, and that's an important feature, is that it can understand so many languages, but it's fast. It's really fast. And it runs on lower end systems, so it takes less power. You can use it in your own environments. It's great for your work environments. And bonus, it can even handle numbers and song lyrics, which are very tricky to get because everyone's pronunciation is
different. Exactly. And you don't want me singing, so we're not going to test that today at all.
Right. So I guess first we should look at the software requirements to get this running. And number one is WSL, Windows Subsystem for Linux.
So with this, you have kind of two options. I am a Windows guy. I've worked at Dell Technologies for a long time. You don't need WSL if you're using Ubuntu, but you can use WSL within Windows. Pretty simple. Go to command line. I'll show you on the screen here. Literally just type in, I think it's WSL -- install, and I can't type. Click enter. I'm not connected to the internet because I wanted to show that this would run locally. Boom, download it, good to go. With any NVIDIA GPU, you need Python or CUDA Python. Go there, check your version first is what I would highly recommend, because you probably already have it. You can check your version right here. We're running Python 3.12.3. And then also another thing to check while you're looking at is look at the GPU that you're running. So within this, I'm running an RTX 5000 Ada card, soon to be on the Dell Pro Max Blackwell once I can get my hands on it.
Yeah, Blackwells are great, so.
No, I think everything NVIDIA makes is really good. Just like with any recipe, ingredients are very important for the proper foundation, with WSL, with CUDA, with PyTorch, and kind of the underlying model. That is the ingredients that you need to make this run.
Right, and the recipes are great because it gives you everything you need to get started and get running and make sure that you can bring the model up and start to use it and have fun.
Exactly. So, I kind of made this easy because this is probably one of the more technical ones that we've actually done. Kind of talked about WSL. I'm not going to run through necessarily all the big things, but I am going to show you a couple of things that you need to do. There will be a documentation guide below this video where I've provided a PDF of all of this, and it'll probably make it a little bit better experience watching this video. But we talked about WSL. It's not required ultimately if you're running Ubuntu, but I am running Windows. One way I like to look and see how WSL is working is if you're running Windows, you can come down here, you're gonna see this Linux environment. That's basically WSL kind of running in the background. Another part that's a really important part of this recipe is Python, right? So easiest way to kind of check your Python version, you can see that I've already typed it kind of into command, is Python 3 -- version. That'll return the version that you have. If you're running higher than Python 3.10.12, you're totally good. If not, then very simple, just update Python to the most recent version, at least 3.12, and you'll be kind of off to the races. And then check again once you're done to see if your version is updated. Then you have to create, your virtual environment, which is pretty easy. I won't spend a lot of time doing that. But what I like to do anytime that I create a virtual environment in Ubuntu or in WSL is I like to name it kind of whatever I'm working with, this being Parakeet.evn, so I know that it's in a virtual environment, so it's activated, so I can kind of remember in my head what I'm doing. The next step is to install a PyTorch, which if you've done any sort of AI acceleration, you're going to be very familiar with what that is. Very simple. Come over here to PyTorch, basically select the windows, whether you want nightly or stable. We are running Windows, so ultimately we are going to run Windows. How do you want to install? You want to pip Python, pick your version of CUDA, and then go ahead and click download, click your command, ultimately step over into your command line, paste it in, you're off to the races. Basically make sure the version of CUDA that you have, you're going to have to remember that it's 12.8. You're going to need that for ultimately the next step. Important part of this that we haven't mentioned, and I'll let Alan, resident expert from NVIDIA, handle this. So we've kind of talked about the Parakeet model, but one important part of this is also kind of the NeMo framework. You can go over to GitHub, you can download NeMo, but can you take a second, Alan, and explain kind of how NeMo fits into this?
Sure. NeMo is part of our NVIDIA efforts to provide frameworks and models, pre-trained models and optimized models and frameworks for developers. So NeMo is a great way to be able to grab these models. We've already put in all the work for you to train. There's also guardrails. There's a lot of technology you can take advantage of with NeMo. Really depends on how far you want to go, but it's a great place to start to get pre-trained optimized models and workflows from NVIDIA.
And it has Blackwell support, so it's ready to go. So a NeMo is an important part of this. So in the instructions, go ahead and get NeMo running on the system as well. With anything running on an NVIDIA RTX GPU, the acceleration of the underlying base layer is CUDA, right? So it is required, and that's what makes this acceleration process happen so quickly, is that I did it because, morbid curiosity, not installing CUDA. I mean, to translate, it was still fairly quick, but it was like at least 10x slower, right? Well, installing CUDA allowed it to run that much quicker. So Alan, a question for you. Why is CUDA so important to the NVIDIA RTX Pro kind of lineup of GPUs?
Sure. CUDA's been our foundation for programming GPUs for many years. It's been over a decade now. And so it's really important if you want to access the GPU, you want to get all of the power and performance there. CUDA is just key. It's that programming interface. That's the foundation for all of the NVIDIA accelerated AI tools and technologies today.
Awesome. So another important part of this is all the dependencies, which you can get from the Hugging Face page for the NVIDIA Parakeet model. Pretty straightforward. There's a couple of steps, which I won't get into because it'll take a little bit more time than we need, but it's going to be listed in the install instructions below. And then basically at this point, we're running the app, right? So when you're ready to run the app, you'll come over and we'll go ahead and get started. You basically are going to type in Python _Parakeet. You can see how well I can type. Hit enter, and then basically what it'll do is on your local host, if you've ever done anything in a Gradio app, this page will ultimately open. So you can do it actually in command line. However, I have found with the amount of text that it generates, it's very hard to actually capture it. I think it works quite a bit better out of the app. So once you have the Gradio app open, it's actually really, really, really simple. You're going to come over here, click upload your audio file. So for us, this is a an episode that I did with the podcast with Michael Rubloff, who is like, I'm not going to say the greatest of all time, but he is pretty great when it comes to NeRFs and radiance fields. An episode I did with him on the podcast, I've loaded it in. You basically click transcribe, upload photo, takes about 3 minutes. And ultimately what you're going to get is something like this. So you can kind of see the clip that we have. He is the owner or manager of radianfields.com. Fact. But I don't want to steal all of his thunder. I actually said that. So it goes down kind of by second all the way through of what we've actually said. So this is where the real magic comes from. And by no means is this agentic AI or anything like that. But I think where AI is kind of going is like we've used kind of an AI framework to get here, but it's then how do you connect something else to it, right? So Alan, kind of what is NVIDIA's take? I mean, I know we started with generative, we're moved into the middle of agentic, we're going to physical, but how does agentic AI kind of fit into kind of the current AI landscape?
Well, I think what it does, it really starts to bring a lot of the technologies together. So we have single models that are good at creating things, doing things, understanding images and documents and speech like we have here. The piece with the agentic AI is bringing it all together. How can I take one or more of these models and get it to do something useful for me? For example, take a transcript of a customer support call and be able to pull out the salient points, get that over to your support people, and they can go and refine procedures or answer questions or get parts shipped out that where people need repairs and things like that. So it's really pulling all these disparate models together, pulling together unique workflows, things that we do today to help us do things better, to manage my travel, manage my schedule, manage my day, manage customers, manage different parts of our business, finance, you name it, pulling it all together and having all these pieces come together and do things that we do today to help us get rid of that rote work so we can focus on the important tasks and let AI handle all those mundane tasks that consume lots of our time.
Unfortunately. Yeah, exactly. And I think you made a really good point is that, for example, I probably wouldn't use, for example, DeepSeek to do this. Right. And I'm going to ask you a question. Why is selecting the right model for the task so important?
Well, for a couple of reasons. One is from these models, they're very small, so they can run on your desktop system. I've got my laptop out somewhere. I'm doing some work. I want to get a transcription. I can do that. But it's very specialized, right? It's looking at language. It's looking at speech, even how you say and pronounce characters to be able to pull them and get the accuracy up. Where general purpose models, they may be good at lots of things. They're not great at everything.
Correct.
And it's kind of like what we do ourselves. You can be good at lots of things, but you're going to study a long time to be an architect, to be a surgeon, to be a musician.
Your specialization. Right? Yep.
And so that's key, I think, is these specialized models as we build these AI agents is having a bunch of different specialties, pull them together. Now we get agents that are specialists in a workflow, which is multiple different components of that workflow.
I love it. And it leads right into the point is that, Parakeet is great at the translation and the transcription, the timestamps, but now that I want to turn that into something and solve a problem, it's not necessarily what I need. So the next step of the workflow, and there's a lot of different things. You can use NVIDIA AI Workbench. There's a lot of different tools. I like LM Studio because it's free, simple, cheap. I mean, so is NVIDIA AI Workbench. But there's lots of ones you can use ultimately to do it. So what I've done is I've downloaded LM Studio, which is very easy to download. Even my mom can do it. Just literally come to lmstudio.ai, click download for Windows. It'll download. It'll prompt you to download a model or two, pick whatever you want. But one thing to look at is you want to have a kind of a textual understanding or a reasoning model, because what we're going to do, as you can see, is to get started, you're going to click that. It'll be an unnamed chat. I've already pre-wired this because you don't have to watch my typing, but I've loaded in that transcript, and then I have written a prompt that's going to reference all of that transcription from the show. And it says, please summarize the attachment, highlighting all the important points and turn to a blog style output with around 500 words. So when we go ahead and click, it's going to start running through this. And what's cool about OpenAI's models, most of them have had a fee to do certain things, but now there is a version of this, a distilled version, that will run within LM Studio. So as this kind of processes, you can see what has come through, right? Like basically the world is shifting. For those that don't know, Gaussian splats and NeRFs is basically just 2D pictures or video into kind of a 3D reconstruction that can be accessed at any time. So basically we're talking about wide angle photography, the images, the roles, radiance fields, the takeaways, the final thoughts. All very simple, all done in how long we've been standing here? 15 minutes, probably 10, 15 minutes, all ready to be done. And I think that's what's incredible about AI is the ability to take something that took me probably a couple of hours to do, ultimately kind of stepping back from it, being able to use tools that are available to turn this into something valuable. So I've got a couple of use cases, but after you've seen this, Alan, like you've never seen this before, where do you see this kind of fitting in as a potential use case of someone out in an industry or market that could use something like this?
Well, we all have lots of meetings, we have lots
Yes.
of interactions, and there's lots of transcripts out there, or potential transcripts where you want to pull insights and pull meanings. I go to probably half a dozen or more meetings a day. And what you like to be able to do is summarize those very concisely and pull out the points that matter to me. I may be sitting in a meeting and maybe 5% of it is the product marketing piece I care about. And I like to be able to pull those out and again, generate concise reports for me. And I think a lot of people share that. It could be whatever job you're working at. If you're going through and you're talking to people, you're talking to customers, you want to be able to pull insights from that.
Right.
And I think that's an important aspect that today we do it manually.
Yep.
We go and we take notes during the meeting, and then we kind of go back through our notes, and a week later we may have to go back again and try to remember what that was about. It's nice if we can have, like, even your manual AI agent you built there was able to do exactly what you needed to do very quickly.
Correct.
And I think that's key no matter what your job is. If you want to extract some information and make it relevant to you, that's, I think, what's important about these speech and recognition tools is to help us do that quickly and efficiently.
Agreed. I mean, meeting summarization, I'm using it for podcasts. I mean, I think the industry that really would benefit is broadcast, but think about a news station, right? They have their news episode coming on every night at 5, 6. They ultimately have a blog on that website, right? That's summarizing the news. I will bet you there's probably somebody writing that blog as we speak. And instead of them listening to the news, recanting what they've said, using something like this to not replace that person, but to allow them to do some more hard-hitting reporting or whatever it may be, more value add or a different story that they're not able to capture versus basically listening to the nightly newscasters and what they're saying.
I mean, content creation is kind of key today for everything. And so anything that helps you distill and create unique content, I think is going to be a great tool for people. There's so many people working in that area today that these tools are really going to help them. I
agree. And that's the one thing I want to touch upon is, yes, this is running on, a local computer, the internet's not connected, but just because it's running locally, that's designed for my use case, right? This can translate all the way up kind of with the Dell AI factory in NVIDIA for those use cases like I talked, like major broadcast, sports broadcasting, etc. It's not just going to run on this PC. A workflow like this can be much more like in terms of its capabilities and how quickly and how much audio it's processing, all that. It'll scale all the way from the desk side to the data center. So Alan, before we wrap it up, it's been incredible having you on. I really appreciate you taking the time to come in. What are the 2 or 3 takeaways, from this use case, from RTX Pro GPUs or from NVIDIA, do you think people should remember as they walk away from this cookbook?
I think one of the most key things to remember today is AI is here. It's here to help you work smarter, better, be more creative. Whatever it is you're doing in life, AI is really ready to help you. And NVIDIA, we've been working on this for over a decade. Our software stack, our AI accelerated software stack, the GPUs, and of course the Dell systems that these get put into are really designed to take advantage of that. So it's here, it's going through all of our workflows. So I think it's important for us to learn as much as we can about it and take advantage of it and make us more productive, make us our jobs easier and make us more creative and really bring out the best in what we can do using AI as an important tool for that.
I agree. And it is incredible the way that AI can help with transcription and other capabilities. It's truly awe-inspiring. What makes NVIDIA Parakeet TDT model so exciting is how it changes the game for speech AI. It's lightning fast, it's highly accurate, and it works completely offline, which I just kind of showed throughout the demo. You can transcribe hours of audio in under seconds without having to send any data or that audio to the cloud. Whether it's auto-generating subtitles, powering call center analytics, or enable voice assistance, or breaking language barriers with new multilingual model, the Parakeet TDT delivers studio quality transcription at a massive scale. It's not just faster, it's smarter, it's more flexible, and it's ready to bring speech AI to everyone.
Exactly, and that's what really at NVIDIA gets, I think, most of us fired up every day and wanting to go to work is looking at things like Parakeet. It's not really built just to be state of the art, but you can use it in the real world. It's fast, it's accurate, and you can run it anywhere. And seeing people run these kinds of transcription services offline, a laptop GPU, or spin up multilingual captions at scale is huge. And it's the kind of leap that unlocks whole new speech AI experiences.
Want to take the time of walking through this incredibly helpful demo. Excited to see how our viewers will be utilizing the recipe for their day-to-day workflows. Today, we've explored another example of what makes on-device AI truly powerful. I know I've already asked Alan, but I'm going to ask again. What are your final thoughts?
Well, I guess only one thought, and that's thanks for having me here today. It's been great being here.
Of course. That's a wrap on today's AI Cookbook. Don't forget to visit Dell.com/Dell Pro Max to learn more. I'm Logan Lawler, and until next time, stay innovative and keep cooking.